Hello ladies and gents, this is Tweet Ender with, well, you'll probably already see it in the title. So in my latest video I talked indeed about my tree vlog. I talked about the possibility that I would be building a new computer or just buying a new computer. And indeed, I did. Because if you want something, you have to say, like, you have to go get it, right? In a good way, that is. Of course, if you see an expensive car on the street, you shouldn't go to steal it, but you know what I'm saying, right? If you want something, you should go get it. If it's in a good way. But indeed, I've built my new computer. It's a pretty beastly one. I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the build, the components, why I choose those components. I'll also talk about a few issues I had, a few problems with building the computer, because if you build a computer you will run into problems. 99% chance that you will run into problems, and I will address that as well. So the case is an Antec Performance 1B280. This is, in my opinion, probably the best component, I think, in my opinion. I love the case. It's a very large case. It actually comes to my knee level, the level of my knee, and it comes with 3 extra case fans, which I might add, they are adjustable in their speed. It's a pretty amazing case and very large, has a lot of open space, good airflow, so pretty satisfied with that. The motherboard is an Asrock H87 Pro 4. I don't know much about motherboards, so I just picked one and looked up information about it, so it would be compatible with my other components, and it seems like they were. The CPU. The CPU is an Intel Core i7-4770K. It's indeed an i7, it's because I do a little bit of video editing and such. It makes it better, it's not really, my build is a little bit of hybrid gaming, hybrid editing PC. I will use it for work as well, so I wanted it to have a good processor. An i5 is more ideal for gaming, and i7 is more ideal for heavy rendering and such. So that's why I picked the i7, and I would be able to overclock it because it's unlocked, and therefore I will also have an additional CPU cooler. It's a Noctua. I don't know much about it, but it's a pretty large one. I don't know much about it. It's pretty silent. It's a pretty silent and large one. My whole PC as a whole is pretty silent. It runs very quiet. It's running next to me right now. I'm not sure if you can even hear it. It's very silent. So next, the GPU, the graphics card. It's a Gigabyte GTX770. 2 GB. It should allow me to play most games at max settings, apart from the very demanding titles. The very demanding titles I probably play at close to max settings, which is enough for me. I don't care about the absolute max settings anyway, so it's enough for 1080p gaming at 60 FPS. So that's why I picked the 770. The PSU, I don't know much about PSU. I just picked one that seemed okay for me. So then again, there might be some faults in this in my build, but then again, if you build something yourself, you are able to switch components out. So the PSU is a Corsair CS 650M, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I picked just one that should be able to be enough for my purposes. I don't know. The storage, I put in the SSD in there, a cheaper one, with 120 gigabyte of storage, enough to put my operating system and maybe a couple of other games as well. My computer starts up in like 5 seconds. It's pretty amazing. Even though it's a cheaper one, it's pretty good, and I'm really satisfied with having an SSD. My hard drive is a 2 TB one. I forgot the brand, but it does the trick. It's very good for us to store all my video footage. And last but not least, the memory. I picked a little bit of a cheaper memory to get 16 gigabytes in my budget. It's a crucial 16 gigabytes at 1600 megahertz. So that's my build. Again, it's a little bit of a budget gaming editing builds, but I think it does the trick. I'm really satisfied with it so far. It starts up very fast, has a powerful processor. I ran a few games on it. The first game that I tried is Team Fortress. Team Fortress runs at max settings pretty smooth. I think it's about that's the thing with TF2, it tends to do like huge drops in FPS. It goes from 100 FPS to 300 FPS. At max settings, that is, it's pretty amazing. Also ran Bioshock, also ran Batman Arkham Asylum. All max settings, smooth 60 FPS, no problems. And I also hope you like this 1080p gameplay in the background. Even though I prefer not to play like at full screen, but for recording purposes I probably should, so I can record at 1080p and also upload at 1080p. Because even though I can't watch in 1080p because of my internet being shit, that doesn't mean other people can't. So from now on you will enjoy higher quality fully HD. Oh, and I couldn't really do this on my laptop because one, my laptop wasn't powerful enough. And secondly, my hard drive I only had like 150 gigabytes left to store all my footage, which isn't really enough if you want to store a lot of footage. So now I did run into a few problems with building my computer. So the components itself were very quick to arrive. Components itself, I ordered them at Tuesday 5 PM in the evening. And I got them Wednesday at 10 AM in the morning. They arrived very fast. I think someone worked pretty late to make sure the components were sent or something. I don't know how exactly they do things, but it's I ordered them from a Belgian site and they were very fast to arrive. But I did run into a few problems. So first, I didn't have enough SATA cables to hook up my hard drive. Not a big of a deal, I just could go to a local computer store and get it. But I also needed Windows 7, which eventually I ordered on the internet because where I live they sell it nowhere anymore. You can't buy Windows 7 anymore at regular stores, so I had ordered on the internet because they all sell Windows 8, and Windows 8 not really compatible with a lot of software that I use, or I don't want to take the risk of going with Windows 8 because I don't trust it. Maybe Windows 9 will be better, but those two things weren't really a problem. But the major problem was the PSU cable, because I couldn't hook up my case fans because the power supply didn't come with enough cables. I wasn't able to hook up my case fans, so I had to go to a certain computer store to get those. And also I needed a network card. I forgot to order that, so I went to a local computer store, and they shove a network card into my face. Now my brother told me this, and indeed it is pretty true. I think this is indeed true. That people that worked at that store, they want to sell you things. They don't know a lot about computers. So they shove a network card into my face, which costed 110 euros. And eventually when I got home, I tried to thing out and tried to put it in my computer and tried to install it. It didn't work like shit. It was crap. So they basically ripped me off. And I read some stuff about it on the internet, and I found out that it was a very old model from 2007, and people sold it on the internet for $25. So I was basically ripped off. And when I went back to the store to ask for my money back, they didn't want to give me money back. So they really ripped me off in that part. Luckily I managed to arrange something with them. But I really got ripped off. And thanks to my dad found a good site of a computer store in Ghent. It's about 30 minutes drive from where I live, and they sold a lot of components there, and that person that worked there was amazing. My brother and me described the situation of my computer and also his, because he needed a new network card as well. So And he was immediately like, oh yes, here are your network cards. And the same with the PSU, like we described the situation, it was immediately like, oh yes, right, I know what you need. It was pretty amazing. He immediately knew what we needed and he immediately helped us with what we needed. So eventually we managed to solve it. It took me about almost a week to make my computer here work. But right now, as it works, it's pretty amazing PC. And also lastly, a big thank you to both my dad for finding that very good store, and to also my brother for helping me build the computer. Without him it wouldn't have worked at all, because he knew much more about the computer than I did, and he put so much work into it. He did most of the work even, so big thank you to him and to my dad for helping me out with my new computer. Thanks for watching, take care folks.